Hi, folks, and welcome back to Money and Politics. It is another Friday, and we're closing out the week. Again, closing up on a weak high note for Humbl. The markets also were generally up, kind of a mixed area, really. But let's take a look quickly at the Humbl action, and it was kind of interesting. We were up almost 9%. And that was due to an interesting phenomenon, which I would say, here we closed at, let me get the price, 83.5 cents, up about 7 cents on the day. But look in the middle of the day, the chart here where it goes up, and we see it was down, first of all, at 1 o'clock or so. Down to about 70, I think it got down to 72 cents, or 78 cents it says here. And then, about 50 minutes later, it went shooting up and eventually hit a high of 96 cents before coming back down to close as it did. And this was because of a coordinated attack against the shorts. So that was kind of interesting. You can see the volume down here at the bottom where we hit like 877,000 shares being traded at that one point. The overall volume for the day, 22,226,000 shares, with an average 10-day moving average of 12.6 million shares. So very heavy volume over the average for the last 10 days or so. Follow Money and Politics on Gmail. You can send me a note there if you wish, if you want to. And let's see, if you want to follow me on Twitter, then you can go there and you can comment or send me a direct message. So anyway, it was an interesting day, as the long and short of it is, and I think it was interesting that there was a coordinated attack against the shorts, and I'm sure a lot of us would say, yeah, and, you know, they have it coming. What might be interesting, and I'm not a guy that shorts stocks, but it might be interesting to say if we have more of these coordinated attacks, or even just with this one, that perhaps it might put some fear into those who are shorting and have them maybe not be as eager to sit there and be shorting Humbl stock on a daily basis. Now, the other interesting thing that happened today is Brian Foote announced that they were doing a soft opening of the Humbl NFT marketplace. And that is interesting. So let me bring that up. And so we come over, and of course this is humblpay.com. We go up to Marketplace, and it's the NFT gallery that launched today. And so we go down, and they're going to have a number of different services. If you go up to NFT collections right now, photography is the one that they're dealing with, and so we can scroll down and take a look. And if we just pick one, and of course we're all pretty good fans of Clint, we can see here the auction bid information is ongoing as we tape this, 3 days left, 1 hour and 24 minutes, and it takes it right down to the second. And you can see right to the right of Mr. Eastwood's picture, where it says the current bid is $1,250. And it says somewhere, I was saying, last time I checked, it said the reserve had not been reached. Yeah, it says right there above the white box here, the reserve price has not been met as yet. I think you probably know what that means, but basically, let's say they had set a price of $3,000 on this, then you can see where the bidding's going up. Let's see, how would that be? Right here, you can see the bidding, and yet if you know, that's not 3,000. See, you would have to get up to what it is. But anyway, the point is, it is open, and in the larger sense now, we have one more example of how Humbl is continuing to meet its timeline, and we see the progress that they're going to be open. The NFTs, while it is really a brand new marketplace, and I don't know, this goes back to another point I would make. For all the critics, how can you estimate what income is going to be coming in from NFTs over the next year, 2 years, 5 years? It's a brand new market. And so this is why I throw out some of the bears when they write these articles about how Humbl's not doing anything and it's only got a minuscule amount of money coming in. Of course it only has a minuscule amount of money coming in for reasons I've covered in previous videos. But once again, just to bring this up, we have the collections. Let's see. Come on. Well, it's just photography right now. So I will be interested. But as this is launched, how many people are going to hear about this? Hopefully it'll grow, right? Let's see where we are on this. So here's Kim Kardashian. And you may not have any interest in that, as I do not, but nonetheless, I'm always amazed at what people are interested in, and that the current bid on this is $1,390. Again, here, the reserve price has not been met. And we see in the white box that you can have the plus or minus to the side of the boxes. You have right in the middle here, 1,400. So you can go click these up or down to make your bid. I'm not going to bid on this, but there you go. And so, folks, I would say the story of Humbl is I have been quoted as saying, and did say, that when you're buying a company, you're not buying a stock price. And in this case, while the price of the stock has been disappointing over the last several months, we see that the company continues to execute. They're not sitting there doing nothing and just hoping someone walks in the store, so to speak, to start spending money. They're creating these marketplaces and opening them up. And let's not act like this is, a lot of companies, they buy things. You think of a car dealer, they're buying the car made by someone else, they put it on the lot, and someone buys it or they don't. The point I'm going to make is this. I think that we have an angst that is understandable, but it is somewhat of our own creation, we the Humbl investors, because when you go back, to December, and you had prices here going down to, it's hard to read in here, but, measured in pennies, especially when we go back to late November. I bought some shares at 11 cents, then we were at 22 cents, etc. And the company came out, and there was so much excitement that it just, as we can see, shot up precipitously. And that was an artificial high. It was kind of a sugar high of stock prices, and it really wasn't sustainable and wasn't justified at that point. And then because a lot of people had this, if you had sold then, yeah, you would have had a profit of whatever, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. And then because we didn't sell, those of us who were sitting there, and great many of us had that those profits evaporate. We saw the price movement go down. And if I go to a month, let's say, again, it was just been one kind of a day here or there up, and otherwise it seems like it's just a constant raining on our parade as the price just slowly sinks into the west. My point is, folks, what I'm saying is that earlier spike is part of what's causing us to have all this angst, because it got up so far ahead of itself that was unjustified. And so we continually feel bad as the stock price is down. Now, I think we're lower than we should be, in my own estimation. But the real core of what I'm saying, and I'll wrap with this, is we see with the gallery being open today, we see with the other moves, and I don't have to go over them every day, that the company is continuing to make advancements. And as they said, they're following more or less their timeline. So here we are, and I think this is the point that you are buying a company, and it is going to be generating income. It is generating income. That income may come faster than we expect, or it may come slower than we expect. But we're going to have to allow the company to have a little bit of a track record before we start judging it. And that's the essence of my complaint against a lot of these bears. I think they just are intending on being bearish for the sake of being bearish. And so they, if you draw your conclusion, you can always find some evidence to support your case. What I am saying is just inarguable that the company is so new, and it is continuing, as we have today, to roll out its products that, we are seeing developments, and that's what is key. And then what's key is going to be the metrics on how many people are signing or buying, what's the revenue stream. But before I leave, the one bit of advice I would like to offer to our friend Brian Foote is, this is at least the second time where you put out a tweet and announce something, and you announce it on a Friday, and I believe it was a week ago today you did it again. If you're going to do something, sir, I would say you put out bad news on a Friday so that people forget about it over the weekend. If you want to have good news, if you have good news, put it out on Monday. Because right now, we did go up a little bit today. We were up 9%, but there's no tomorrow to carry on the momentum. And if you were to release your information on a Monday, maybe we would get a follow-up in trade on Tuesday. Who knows? Maybe we'd actually have 3 days in a row where we could have the stock price go up. So if you're going to make an announcement, please don't do it on a Friday afternoon. Do it earlier in the week, so that the investors who want to buy more, who see things like the gallery being open, can get excited, and maybe they will buy multiple days in a row. This way you're kind of killing your own buzz. It's a buzz killer to be putting this out. The other thing I would say is, again, have someone in the office or hire a service put out a press release and send it so it gets onto any number of websites, financial service websites. You can have it distributed. And so we get that news out there. When you put it out on Twitter, it is one way to go, but it is not the only, should not be the only way. And so much of the time when you do that on Twitter, you're already kind of singing to the choir, where other people who maybe never have heard of Humbl, if it's a press release and is being distributed to news organizations, those people will then begin to see not only Humbl, but the advancements, and people might say, oh, what is this? And check the company out. So that's my 2 cents. And folks, I'll say yes, I missed yesterday. I was taping Candace Owen. I have that published on my other website, Illinois Channel. It's on YouTube. And it was a fun time. There was a big crowd at the convention center, about 1,500 strong, more or less. And then we had one of the gubernatorial candidates for the 2024 election come and say we're having an after function party. And that was also a lot of fun. And it was nice. We were out and about. And it was kind of almost like a little bit like old times. And sadly, I'm glad I could get this video out, because I didn't get to bed until about 3 a.m. And I'm beginning to feel the Sandman beating me to death. But I'll close out here, folks. Thank you, as always, for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope it remains sunny where you are. And hopefully we can have maybe some momentum continuing on Humbl when it comes to next week. And maybe we can even have our friends on StockTwit and elsewhere organize another attack against the shorts. Wouldn't that be fun? In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and make your comments. Tell me, should we have more attacks on the shorts? Let me know your thoughts. And in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We'll see you later. See you on Monday.